Oh my gosh, dudes. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. That is so frustrating. Like the stupidest thing. Crow, everyone. I had to restart again. But I still don't have the StreamYard thing going. So that's the cruddy thing, is that no matter what, I still don't have StreamYard linked up anymore. Hi, you can see me now. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. I still want to have Patrick on, but now I'm going to have to get this StreamYard thing set up somehow. And I don't know if you can do it if you're in the middle of already streaming. It's so weird. So what I might have to do is talk to Patrick on another format while we're live and see if he can help me. I don't know, maybe we'll even just jump over to to another thing. I can't believe this, man. I had it all pre-set up and everything, thinking, oh, it's gonna be no problem. Yeah, you can't fix the StreamYard while it's live. Like, I set it up ahead of time, thought it was all good, but it wouldn't let me add YouTube. Like, I guess there's some new different has been done with YouTube on there than how it has previously been done, and it won't let me connect it. Is my sound okay? Am I loud enough? Am I too loud? So I've got air going in the background because it's freaking hot in this house. I even wore my haunted side shirt just for Patrick. I know it's supposed to make it easier, but it seems way more complicated. And I feel so bad because I sent Patrick the link, but now it's like been canceled out. So, oh, awesome. Good. So I didn't want to just have the show just be just me. I wanted Patrick to be here too. I was going to try to message him on Facebook here really quick and see if he can help me out maybe. Because he always seems to do this just fine. I just can't seem to get it together, man. Any idea how frustrating that was? I was like getting ready to cry. I was just like, this isn't working. I'm not gonna be able to do it. My gosh. How's everybody doing? Well, other than being frustrated from that, I'm all right. I'm just trying to finish messaging Patrick really quick. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, lunch break from work. Oh, it's only noon there. Yeah, it's almost 9 here. I'm so sorry, you guys. That was so frustrating. Like, and I thought I worked this stuff out already. That's why I thought I had it down. And I even watched like a little video. Still, it's like something got changed because when I walk through all the steps that it says to do, it's not all those options are there. It's a different screen from the picture that they show. So I don't know. I tried to get on earlier to try to mess around with it beforehand, but I had a bunch of things going on and I wasn't able to get everything set up until like right before. And then I kept trying to broadcast and it wasn't setting out image for some reason. Like, I don't know. Hopefully I can get a hold of Patrick, and if we have to restart it again, I really apologize. We're probably going to, though, in order to get me and Patrick on screen together. Man. I was all excited. I'm like, yeah, I got a guest. It's finally working out, and nothing worked out. Why do they have to make these things so complicated? I thought they were supposed to be more user-friendly. Yeah, it's definitely Monday, for sure. Oh, I wonder if Patrick's even online or if he gave up or what. Yeah, it's working. Hi. Maybe I'll have to reschedule with Patrick again. That stinks. I'm sorry, guys. I keep trying to get this going. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's actually a really good idea, Crow. I really should try that, just so I really get a feel for it, because Um, it's a little weird. There's a lot of steps, and I'm just not used to it. Um, so me and Patrick never decided on a topic for today's episode. I'd sent him the list, I thought, but maybe he was just busy and didn't get a chance to look at it. So if you guys, do you guys have any specific paranormal topics you want to discuss today? I'll leave it amongst you guys since you're here. I have a very long list of ideas I had to. Oh, thank you, Tiny. So I'm not hearing from Patrick yet. So why is YouTube open on my phone? That's not, shouldn't be open. No. Dowsing rods just for Crow. Oh, Crow, do you not like dowsing rods? Maybe what'll happen is Patrick will start a live stream and then I'll join theirs. I watched the Dead Files. I really like the Dead Files, actually. I got this to go film at my local cemetery down the road that is supposedly haunted. In fact, a guy was killed right behind there, like last year, right behind the cemetery. But I have a really cool cemetery down the road for me, and I've been waiting for the weather to get nicer, which it has been getting nicer. So very soon I'm probably going to go out and do some filming. And all I have is the Necrophonic app, though, as far as like investigating tools go, because that stuff costs money I don't have right now. So I'm going to give it a shot. I mean, I've seen it give some seemingly valid answers, so I might as well give it a try, right? Yeah, I like Amy too. I think she is cool. And it's interesting the stuff she picks up on. She actually helped me figure out that I'm pretty sure that I had an attachment for a long time, which is why I have so many health problems and why I got them so young. Because they started like in my mid-20s when they were like, you're too young to have all these problems. And I was dealing with some stuff hunting wise. So it kind of makes a lot of sense, actually, that how people's health gets affected. You had an attachment when you were young? Oof. What? I would love to have you talk about that at some point if I could ever figure out how to use the damn StreamYard thing, if you want to come on. So one of the things I want to do on when we have a guest and stuff on the show is, have us have a conversation about whatever, paranormal topic, and then have like a Q&A sort of session with the guest. And then I also want to do a thing where we can bring anyone in the chat into the StreamYard if I can get it working. This is all, once that's all figured out on my end, get it working. So if someone in the chat has a good ghost story, what I'll have people do is post like ghost emoji in a book or something, and then like maybe give a brief, like say it has to do with orbs and disembodied voices and blah blah, whatever the haunting that you dealt with was, and then I'll like pick one and then we'll pop you over and have you come on and tell your story, because I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I do have, we have Discord. I'm on the Haunted Sides Discord too. I haven't created one for Paranormalize yet. I just created an Instagram, which I don't even think I have. I just have a profile picture for Paranormalize on there. And it's Paranormalize Chat Show. And I have Paranormalize Chat Show at yahoo.com for email as well. But yeah, I really should fix up a Discord as well. That could be pretty helpful. You know, I actually, I didn't even think about that, but the bat trick thing, bats are actually just one of my favorite things. I have several bats tattooed on my leg and stuff. So I just think it's really funny. Bats are just one of my favorite things. I love bats. If I was out there with them, you wouldn't see me running. I'd probably be going, "Oh, I want to take it home." Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I'm not planning on having this show on any like set time or day because my schedule's really kind of nuts. I'm kind of all over the place, and I know a lot of these investigators are very busy, and to have them as guests, I want to make sure that they are available. You know, like if what's the point of having a conversation, trying to have someone on the show to be a guest and interview them if they're not able to be here, you know? That's kind of my thought about it. I want to be able to have them here. So I'm willing to work around people's schedules. I mean, maybe I can, once I get the groove of this more, maybe I'll do a live stream where it's, you know, I just come on and talk about whatever, and then, you know, also do the Paranormalize. I haven't figured out the structure yet. This could go so many different ways. I know that I just really want to create content and do stuff, and I love all you guys, and I love watching this community grow, and it's what I really like to be a part of. It's what I'm passionate about. So I feel like it's time for me to just stop procrastinating and just do it, you know, because I've been planning on creating a channel for a couple years now. I just couldn't find a direction, and it's like, well, hello, you're like super into paranormal. Why don't you go with that? Thank you. Thank you, LJ. That's sweet. Yeah, I like chilling and talking with you guys too. I want to have like, you know, I was kind of like a theater geek and stuff in high school, and I always loved entertaining people and performing and stuff. And but I also like, you know, I think like doing a chat show would make that really fun. But I like chilling and talking with you guys too. So there's a lot of different ways we can go with this. It all just depends on what people that watch my channel want. You know, I'm happy to create stuff that you guys want to see me create if I'm capable of it. Obviously, I have a hard time going live, as we've seen now. I think this is the second time that I've had trouble doing this. So that's fun. Yeah, I still know Patrick. He said he was gonna come on today, but I mean, he may have tried to join into the StreamYard and now it's not working and just gave up. I'm not sure. There's like a little fruit fly that keeps going right by me, and I don't. The cemetery. You think the cemetery would be cool? That is a really cool cemetery. Like it's there's a pyramid in it. It's 35 feet tall, and it is a tomb that holds one of the founders of my city. God, stupid thing. And his family, like all of his descendants, are still interred into there. In fact, like there's a guy that's alive now that's going to be interred into there when he passes away, and he's actually an adopted member of the family, which is actually kind of cool. And he's like the last, I guess, the last that I know of them from what I read. So I don't know if more people will be interred in there or not. Yeah, it would be a really great pick. That, I mean, I have tons and tons of photos there. I've done so many photo shoots there over the years because people always wanted to photograph the goth girl back in the day, you know, and that's where they always wanted to do it, was at the cemetery. So I've done so many photo shoots there. In fact, I'd say the majority of photo shoots I've ever done have been in that cemetery. Some pretty cool pictures too. Um, Yeah, I'm excited too. I'd like to get some more. Well, I guess, I do have some other equipment. My boyfriend has a digital voice recorder, so I could take that along as well and try to get some old-fashioned EVPs because I always liked those anyways. We got one in our house earlier in the year, and me and him both hear different things on it, but it's kind of interesting that like the very first attempt we had at getting it, trying to capture something. Yeah, well, we went seeking and recording right after we had an experience. So we went running towards it basically instead of running away, which is what normally would happen because I'd get freaked out. It would catch me off guard, when I'm just trying to do something simple and not expecting it, and all of a sudden there's a woman's voice talking and or seeing shadows running by and stuff. And it's really weird because it kind of comes and goes. Like there's times where it doesn't feel like there's anything. And then there's times where it's like, I don't even want to go back there. It just seems creepy and spooky right now. Oh, that's sweet. You've got me playing in the background. Okay. Right on. That's cool. Well, thanks for chatting while you could. I appreciate that. So again, you guys, I'm sorry this didn't go as planned. Now, like every single one I've done of these so far, I've been wearing this shirt. So I just I gotta show you guys what I got today. My first paranormal experience. Hold that thought. Look what I got in the mail today. I've been waiting for this. I ordered this I think like a month ago or so. I finally got it. So ghost hunter on its side. I was all excited to show Patrick because like, how perfect. Like the day that he's going to be on my show, I get this in the mail that day. Right? And then nothing works out. You just got yours too? Yeah. Did you get the same one, Dan? Oh, Jane, you have the same one? Yeah, it's super soft inside too. Like the material is really, really soft. Feels nice. I would wear it, but it's actually really hot here right now. It's been really warm in Washington. We had like some major crazy rain last week where it was like hailing and it like felt like we were going to have like a hurricane, even though we don't have hurricanes. It was just insane, like downpour. And then it was like, boom, sunny, warm, hot. Washington's like that. So you want to know my first paranormal experience? Is that what you were asking? My first paranormal experience that I can recall was when I was about 6 or 7 years old. I was laying in my bed. I had a bunk bed, and we had these big, huge window where it's like just a giant window. I don't know what to call them, the kind of windows they were, but I could see into the backyard, and my dogs were out there, and they would be pacing back and forth or whatever, and they were pacing back and forth and barking, and I looked out the window, and there was this giant ball of light. I mean, it looked like it was probably about this big, and I was referring to it as the white glowing pumpkin. But I was trying to sleep, and I see, yeah, a bay window. That's exactly what I was thinking. That just wasn't clicking in for the words. I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Bay window. Thank you, Tiny. So the bay window, and I'm trying to go to sleep, and this thing, I have the covers, pulled up, and I'm looking at it, and for some reason, I just got extremely terrified, and I was crying. I'm like 6 or 7 years old. And I'm crying, and my mom comes in, and she's like, honey, what's going on? What's wrong? And I'm like, there's a glowing pumpkin out my window. And she's like, what the hell is my, you know how kids say weird things. So she's sitting there, and she's looking, and she's like, honey, there's nothing out there. And I, get brave enough to peek out, and there's nothing there. And as soon as she gets out of the room again, things back, just back. It's like, it would make itself not be seen when my mom was standing right there. And then as soon as she would leave, it would be back. And it really scared me. And it seemed like my dogs would walk where it should be in front of it, but it was still shining like just as bright, like through them. I don't know how to explain it. It was very weird. And I remember eventually I just hid under the covers until I could fall asleep. Um, I've had lots and lots of experiences over the years. My most That's one of my most prominent, like the first ones I can remember. I also had a time where I used to see, the only thing I can describe it as is a Grim Reaper. That's what it looked like, the classic Grim Reaper. The light, the color of the light, it was white. It was just a white ball, huge ball, and it stayed stationary, and it was just glowing. It was really weird, and nothing there was nothing that belonged there that could do that. It just didn't make any sense. Yeah, it could have been. That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I've seen stuff my whole life. There's just been times in my life where I've seen things more intensely as far as ghosts or spirits and things like that. I've actually had an encounter with a full body apparition. Yeah, I saw the Grim Reaper thing. That was probably the next most prominent thing I can remember. When I was about 11, I think I was 10 and just turned 11 and what's crazy is I was in one of those bathrooms where you've got a mirror and it just creates like an echo chamber, an echo hall of foreverness, right? And I was getting ready for school, and there was just this Reaper standing behind me. He was like cloaked, the skull face, everything. And he was like 7 or 8 feet tall. He was massive. And I was absolutely terrified. I went trucking out of the bathroom because it scared the hell out of me. I turn and look, and I don't see anything behind me. But when I look in front of me, there he is standing next to me in the mirror. And it was terrifying, especially when you're a little kid. And I'd be with my mother, even going out to the car, and I would see him standing at the end of the driveway. And I would tell her, Mom, he's right there. And she couldn't see him, but I could see him. And what's crazy is my grandfather that lives in that house that we were living at the time, he actually had cancer. And maybe it was me catching on to that he had cancer and it was going to eventually take him down. I don't know. I've tried to look at it from that way. Like maybe it was some kind of a sign that I was seeing something that was coming. I don't know. It was really odd. I saw a full body apparition when I was about 12. And that was the only time I've ever seen a full figure, like head to toe. I've seen like heads. I've seen like a leg or an arm, but never the full apparition except the one time. That's interesting, Dan. I've got some weird myths on camera before, as well as some random orbs, but most of the orb action I've seen in photos, I think is just faulty camera stuff. Like I used to be a little more skeptical with orbs, and I still am in some aspects, but when watching stuff like the haunted side, where you see stuff happen and then you see the orb like correspond with it, you just can't deny like how odd that is. You can't just write it off as dust or whatever, in my opinion. I think that orbs have a lot more validity to them than a lot of people want to give them credit for, especially when they're happening at the same time as other events that the investigators are capturing as evidence. Yeah, I've kind of heard that too, LJ, that the Grim Reaper or his people, other Reapers, like lower level Reapers or something, hang around people who are about to pass. But the thing was, my grandfather at that point didn't pass for another like 15 years or so. I think he may have just been in the early stages of getting the illness or something, Produce all these sexy people. Yeah, we got a room of sexy people. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. You know, when I first started watching the Dead Files, a lot of stuff that Amy said made sense to me. Like it just kind of clicked in my mind as to why, you know, maybe I've kind of thought of some of these things, but since I don't see his stuff on the exact same level as she does, obviously. But I think that I've definitely been exposed to some stuff that I've tried to um, ignore at times in my life because I just didn't want to deal with it, I guess. Yeah, there's no other way to put it than that. I hope the Reaper wasn't the cause of his cancer too. I don't think so. He smoked most of his life, so I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I know that, like, for myself, I was living in a place where, in my early 20s, where I was having uh, sleep paralysis. And I had never had sleep paralysis before until that place. And I would always see this figure standing in the doorway, and I wouldn't be able to move. And I would just be like laying in bed, wishing, and my heart feeling like it was just going to explode. And this thing standing there that I can't even really describe. It was scary. And I know it was a spirit, and it just would like intimidate me and keep me from being able to move. But I think that it fed off of sadness because my downstairs neighbor was very, very depressed. And I had befriended her teenage daughter. And she always used to thank me for being friends with her daughter and stuff. And she ended up taking her life on her daughter's 18th birthday. And I think that this thing that was causing the paralysis, because I know they were having interactions with it as well, I think it finally just pushed her over the edge. And I think it started trying to come after me, because it wasn't long after that that I started getting really sick. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, degenerative disc disease, arthritis in my lower back, chronic depression, anxiety, stuff like that. You know, just went on and on and on and on. And they didn't know it was wrong at first. I was getting tested for all this stuff, you know, but in 2007, my little brother died too. So it was like just all this stuff, you know, just boom, 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 boom. And with fibromyalgia, that could be associated, it can be brought on by depression. And, you know, obviously when you lose your little brother, you're going to be depressed. So, you know, it just kind of, but over time, I started putting things together, and I had a lot of really bad things going on, and I wasn't really as focused on my spirituality for a lot of my mid-20s. I was just caught up being a young adult. You know, I was going out all the time and just always wanted to be with my friends, and I just didn't slow down. I was just go, go, go. I worked full-time management, retail job. You know, I was just always on the go. So I wasn't focusing on centering myself all the time. You know, I would every so often, or like cleansing my space and everything. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the entity could have been the cause of depression too. Yeah, I mean, it went on and on and on, you know, and I've had my struggles with depression, but I've actually been off of all medications and stuff for almost 3 years now. I had to have back surgery in 5 years ago, about 2015. I had to have spine surgery because I had a disc ruptured in my lower back, and I couldn't even walk across the room without freezing up, and like just tears would just pour down my face. I mean, it was all horrible. You know what else though about fibro that sucks so bad is that when I was diagnosed with it, 50% of the doctors didn't even believe in it. They just thought you're making stuff up and that you're pill seeking. And it's like, I just want to know how to deal with this. I tried everything. I tried everything they offered me to try, except doing the blockers where they inject in your spine and stuff, because I had a spinal tap when I was 6 years old, and the only way that anyone is putting a needle near my spine is if I'm unconscious. There's no freaking way I will not let them get a needle near my spine, because that was painful. And I was only 6 and I remember it. You know, it was awful. Yeah, I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. I don't wish any bad on anyone, even my worst enemies, just except for karma to come after them, really. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of doctors that still struggle with the whole fibromyalgia thing. Have you had experience with it, Jane? Do you have fibro too? Because you sound like you know a lot about it. Either that or you know somebody that has it, probably. You do? Yeah. So you've dealt with all that being judged. When you look like I do, you're already getting judged anyways, all the time. So, it's just like all of a sudden you're sick and you have these problems and you can't even get out of bed and function like a normal member of society anymore. I actually I'm not even seeing a doctor right now. I just got so fed up with all the BS from it that I just had to take a break. I was just like, I'm done. I'm done with all this. I'm going to find my own ways to, to treat this and deal with this, because you just get so tired of the game. And then you find a doctor, I did have a doctor that was taking care of me and everything. And then he's like, oh, I'm not going to be prescribing these kinds of medications anymore. And it's like, well, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to go to work and be a productive member of society if I can't even, stand on my feet for more than 3 hours without feeling like my spine is made of cement and there's someone stabbing me in the back, like how do you deal with that if they don't want to help you? It's ridiculous. We're supposed to be all have the right to be treated for medical, our medical things, and they've got documentation, years and years of documentation of my ailments, but they just don't want to help you. It sucks, man. Our system is really messed up in America with healthcare. It really is. And then I've seen people get handed stuff like hand over fist to the point where like you're gonna cause them, the doctors are gonna cause them to OD, because they're just like, oh well, you must not abuse drugs because you look a certain way. So we're just gonna give you all these things. And it's like, no, you don't want to be giving the person all that stuff. Yeah, I agree. Our system is effed. It really is. But, maybe someday I'll find someone that'll treat me based on my conditions and not on what I look like or my past or whatever, whatever it is that they're considering. It's just dumb. I feel bad for anybody that has gone through it. It's hard. Going through, especially your brain. What are you talking about, Crow? Yeah, you would think, doctors really shouldn't judge people on how they look, but they do, sadly. Yeah, drive-thrus are not fast anymore. Oh my gosh. It's because everybody's, it's because of the whole social distancing and all that. Now drive-thrus are the way that you get your food. I know, right? How long does it? It doesn't take long. We just had homemade cheeseburgers tonight, and they were good. Bacon cheeseburgers at that. You guys want to see something? I had this since I was 8 years old. I used to cuddle with him at night. His hat's coming off. I left his hat attached until like probably the mid 2000s. I finally pulled it off. I had a little thing on it, but look, you can see his brain right here. His voice is kind of messed up though, because he used to chill in my car when I was in high school, and he got a little sun bleach. Like you see, the back is darker, so his voice sounds really funny. Check him out. Every once in a while, he starts to kind of go normal sounding. I dropped his hat. You had one of these? Yeah, he's got his little feet are backwards. Yeah, this thing's a collector's item now. Pleasant dreams. I wish he would do his laugh. That's like my favorite thing. Has he ever made a sound without me pulling his string? No, he hasn't. I think I would have given him flying lessons if that happened. That's my favorite, the laugh. But he's my buddy. Dude, when Freddy versus Jason came out, because like in the 80s we all used to talk about how, oh, that'd be the ultimate battle, blah blah blah. When I went to the theater, I brought him with. He like sat on my lap and I sat there in my Freddy sweater with my glove and my fedora on. So good. Oh, you guys hear I love his laugh. Isn't that great? All right, Jane. Yeah, luckily the pull string, definitely you have to pull it to get it to work, and I think I would have flipped if that happened. I had in high school, I had I think I talked about this on the last live stream, but I had this stereo that it was an alarm, and it would just turn itself on when we were gone. It was, just like like one of those radio alarm clock things. And my mom and I, or whatever, we'd be out and we'd come home and you'd hear, loud music blaring and like I'd set the alarm and left it on or something, but I always turned it off when I went to school. So it didn't make any sense. And there was times where one time I turned it all the way to the off position and it was still on and playing music. And at that point, I ripped it out of the wall and hucked it across the room. Oh, thank you, Polly D. I made you a moderator, Polly. That's the kind of stuff I need people to do. So I can grow my channel. And hopefully I'll figure out, I'll definitely do what Crow suggested this week. And I will mess around with some friends and try to get StreamYard figured out completely so I don't run into this problem again. It'd be really embarrassing if like I have a guest, that I've been trying to get on the show forever and they come be on and I can't get them to be on here. Like, how much would that suck? Does anybody else want to be a mod? Because I'll be happy. You guys, I really like all of you guys. If you have a desire to be a mod and you want to, like, I think I'm probably going to, once this gets going more, I'll probably do a special thing where I do streams with the mods, and you'd like to as well, Jane? Okay. I'll do special like events with the mods and have them like be, if you want to be involved in the show on another level, do that, or have a special like where we just hang out and stream, like have a private stream together and just talk about stuff. I want to do something like to reward my mods. It's just a matter of getting the channel to grow and all that. Awesome talking with you too, LJ. You'll have to talk some more, and I'd love to have you on to tell your stories. That'd be really fun. So if anybody's just coming in, welcome, and sorry that it didn't get this to go the way I wanted to. Are you gonna go to McDonald's, Crow? Yeah. Oh, being a mod is pretty easy. Basically, you're just making sure that that people aren't harassing others, and like if me or the guest is promoting something, maybe share the link and getting people to like and subscribe, just that basic stuff. Or like, say if you hear us answer a question over and over and over again, you would be like, oh, I know the answer, I can help with that, so that we don't have to keep answering the same thing. Dan, were you saying that you wanted to be a mod too? It's okay if you don't want to, but if you do, I'll make you a mod. All right. Cool. Yay. That's what I was hoping I could get some mods, because it's, you know, I like doing it for the haunted side. I love doing it for them, and it's fun. Because you never know, there's times where we're not all going to be on. So I might be, am I at my limit or something? Oh, no. I don't know how many moderators you can have. But sometimes it's nice to have a few. That way, if we're not all on at the same time, that someone can always, be looking out. Because one of my biggest things that I want the show to have is, if people are going to be coming on here, I want to make sure that there's a welcoming environment, where you can talk about, if you want to talk about your religious views, you can without judgment. I want this to be a welcoming space for people that are into the paranormal, because it's not always a totally inclusive place. And I want it to be, I think it should be, because when you get into the paranormal and discussions about it, eventually people's faith is going to take part in the conversation. And I just want it to be one of those things where we're not pushing any faith on anybody, but it may get talked about, and I don't want anybody to be judged for it, Slow throughs instead of I like that. That's cute. They really kind of are slow throughs, aren't they, Sharon? We love him. Hi, Papa Bear. Welcome. So my live stream didn't go as planned because I'm a dummy. I had Patrick was supposed to be a guest, but I messed up on the StreamYard thing, and I couldn't get it to link and all this stuff. So I'm going to mess around with StreamYard more throughout the week and try to get it figured out and have a redo. Hopefully Patrick will be available. But yeah, I got a lot of different ideas for how I want, things I want to do with the channel, or at least try to do with the channel, and go from there. And like if a guest is on the show and they're having a good time, we can open it up to where people that are in the chat, if they want to come jump in, they can jump in and be on the live stream too. Because you can have, with StreamYard, you can have up to 6 guests on there at a time. Right? I know, it's awesome. There's so much love in the room. I want to just hug the chat. Like, I really hope that I can get this dang thing figured out, so I can get this show the way I really want it to be, like the way I'm envisioning it, So anybody else have any more questions or topics you want to talk about? I'm doing the crazy eyebrows. I really wish it would have worked out the way I was planning. I like set it up a couple days ago and everything, and then I kept trying to link the YouTube through StreamYard, and it just wasn't working. I thought maybe I had to be when I was going live, and that's why I was like, okay, well, hopefully this will work. And I tried to start it early, but it just wasn't letting me. Does Crow want to be a mod? Did he already leave? Did he go to McDonald's or whatever? My most recent paranormal encounter. Ooh, okay. Well, we've had I will ask Crow if he comes back tonight, or even the next time I'll ask him. And if he does, of course I'll make Crow a mod. Thanks, guys. Okay, so my boyfriend and I had been experiencing some things in our house. We've got this area, like we have a really big kitchen area, and there's this hallway down at the end, and there's kind of a creepy feeling down there. At the end of the hallway, we have our laundry room, and there's an ice machine that we go to frequently in the hallway, you know, and we were seeing and hearing stuff down there, like shadows, and we were just feeling a presence and hearing actual voices and stuff. Do you want to tell your story, honey? He doesn't want to tell his right now. I was going to have him come tell his story. Yeah, this is the most recent thing that I've been having, was interacting with this thing. And I have an EVP recorded from one night there, but I had a flash that I saw in the kitchen that was so bright. It was like a strobe light, like it filled up the entire area. And someone was in there with me when it happened. That's the most recent. I'm telling my, he's like, interject yourself. If you don't want to talk about it, then yeah, my friend was in the kitchen with me, and we both saw it. We were facing different directions, and it literally filled up like the whole space. And I've been interacting with that same whatever's causing all that stuff for a while. But there was a bit there where it got really scary. Like every time I'd go back there, I'd want to just run to this side of the house. It just felt like it was always staring at you. It was always watching you. And I don't know what happened, but recently things have really calmed down. I did bring some black salt into the house, but I only really keep it in my room because I was kind of wondering if it might be a neighbor. There was a murder in this area across the street in the early 2000s, I believe. 2004, 2005. Somewhere around 2004, 2005. And I haven't been able to find any news articles about it. In fact, when I was about to go research it was when this whole virus hit, and everyone was being social distancing and the libraries and stuff were closing. So I haven't had a chance to go to the public library and research that property because it's very close. And I have a theory that spirits know that I can see them, and because I'll move into a place that's never had any or much paranormal activity, and then as soon as I move in, or over time of me moving in, stuff starts happening. So I think that spirits that are either roaming through or in the area already, they can see or know that I can sense them. So they start to make themselves known to me, either because they need help moving on, or maybe they just want to get something off their chest. I don't know. I mean, honestly, that's what I think. I think it has something to do with the fact that I'm open to them and to receiving them, and they make themselves known. We haven't been having too much craziness. I think the last thing that happened was my boyfriend actually saw the two figures that I had told him I thought were there, which is like a mother type figure and a child, a kid. Because it's like this smaller size sort of outline of a person, basically, or shadow of a person. Oh, thank you. Yeah, and also for Paranormalize, I have started an Instagram. It's at Paranormalize Chat Show. I haven't added much on there yet, but I will get around to it. And you can also, if you would like to be on the show, or if you have an idea or want to send feedback, you can email me at paranormalizechatshow@yahoo.com. So those are just a few little ways that you can get in touch. Eventually, I'll probably create some more social media options, but right now those just seem the easiest for me to maintain, is Instagram and email address. Zang. Well, guys, I would really like to keep going, but I kind of feel like I really failed today. I'm glad you guys are here and you stuck around, even though I didn't get the stream to be the way I was hoping it would be. And then I wasn't able to get in touch with Patrick again after the StreamYard thing failed. So I don't know. Kind of thinking about ending it for today, unless you guys really, really want me to chill for a little bit longer. If that is the case, I think I might just step out for a little break for a second, if you guys get my drift. Papa Bear, I don't know how often I'll be on. It depends on if I can get this StreamYard business figured out where I can actually have guests. So hopefully I will totally get that completely figured out. You have to get going, Polly D. Yeah, okay, no problem, dude. Well, thank you for what all you do, and thanks for being my moderator. Oh, you have a dog that will stare at stuff too. Oh, I think that's really cool when animals sense things, and I really think they can. I very much believe in that. Bye, Polly. Plus, I love me some New Zealand. Oh, thanks, Papa. I hope so. I really hope so. And you know what? Happy Father's Day to all of you dads out there. I know it was yesterday, but anyone that's a dad, thank you for being a dad and what you do for your kids. Oh, right on, Aaron. I'm glad that you felt that was a cool, mellow way to end the day. I like that. Oh, right on. You got to go out to dinner with your sons? Was it one of those ones where they have like mannequins in between people to keep you social distance, Papa Bear? The water's running out. Oh, right on. Isn't that crazy how everyone's doing that? It's funny. I have a mannequin. I'll have to set him up to show you guys sometime. I mean, he's up, but it's too hard to show you right now, and he's not appropriately dressed at the moment. So I have a 7-foot gray man that I got when I worked for Hot Topic back in the day. They used to have mannequins, and when we stopped using them, they did a raffle, and one of my coworkers knew I'd always wanted one. So I actually wasn't working at that location anymore. I was working at another one, and she actually called me up and was like, Heather, I want a mannequin for you. And I was like, yeah. So I've had that thing with me since like 1999, I think. It's pretty cool. And Crow's getting food. Yeah, that's right. Crow is getting food, isn't he? Well, man, if somebody was like Crow that knows how to use StreamYard was to hook it up, I'd be willing to jump over to his live stream or whatever if you wanted to do that. I just can't figure it out, you know? In 99, you were 5? Yeah, I'm a lot older than I look. Crow said he was going to McDonald's, right? Wife's telling you it's time to go. All right, no problem, Tiny. Well, it was good to hang out with you again. Thanks for joining and offering to be a mod. Hey, that's no problem, you guys. I got friends of all different ages. Besides, honestly, age is just a number. It's what's in your heart and who you are, When I was a little kid, a lot of my mom's friends were always telling me they would have to remind themselves that they were talking to a kid because I was just mentally more mature than a lot of other kids, I guess. No problem, Sharon. I can wait to end it you know, if you want to go tuck your boy in, if you're going to come back. If you need to go, I totally understand too. Ooh, I love guacamole. My mom always made guacamole with cream cheese in it. Oh, and I love it so much. Bye, sweetie. Erin, I'm the same age. I'll be 40 in November. It's tripping me out. Yeah, hi, Jordan. Yeah, totally. Give him a hug for us. Me too, Dan. Like, I just, the kid conversations just were not really my thing. I mean, there's times where it was, you know, where it just fit in, but other times, yeah, I'm still a youngin'. Yeah, especially for this time period, you know, like a lot of people are in their 40s are starting to look more like they're in their 20s now. I always had a really round face. I had like the babies, you know, the real baby cheeks, and they stuck around. I mean, they're still kind of there, but I've always had the little chubby cheeks, and they finally started to thin out when I was about 25. Yeah, I was the same way, Jordan. But you know, it definitely pays off later because as you get older, people start thinking that you're way younger. I've had to pull out my ID and prove to people because they just straight up won't believe me sometimes. Like, nah, wow, over 100. That's incredible. I've had some into their late mid to late 90s. You're 26 and you look 37. That happens too, you know. It's all just how you pull it off, right? Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it for this time. And I promise you, I'm going to get this figured out and get this show working the way I intend. Oh, you like the pumpkins and stuff here? Yeah, I just thought it'd be easier to just have this up. So for now, maybe eventually I'll get like actual green screen so I can play with stuff back there. That's great. See, Pomper, that's awesome. You gotta, as long as you feel that youth, you can always embody it and own it, you know? Thank you, Dan. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you being here and not being upset with me for not getting this to work the way I was envisioning. But, you know, I'm still kind of a noob to technology and I'm sorry about it. So, gonna end it here, guys. I look forward to working out all the kinks with you all and getting this. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support, and hopefully we will have better live streams in the future where we will have our actual guests here and be able to talk with them. You need it. Okay. Oh, thanks. Thank you so much. All right, you guys. Much love to you. And thank you for being part of my show. And thank you so much to everyone who agreed they wanted to be a mod. And you never know, down the line, some of you guys might want to do it too. So we'll see. I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.